enough, I started planning even before I knew it. Funny story, when I was 17 and in high school, for those of you that graduated here, we were often given senior books, right? Where we're told to, map out where we're going to be in 10 years. And so I wrote down that I was going to marry Ben, who at the time was my high school sweetheart, that I was going to have 2 kids. I was going to live in a house in Virginia, and I was going to drive a Maxima. I don't know why I wrote Maxima, but that's what I wrote. And that I was going to work at State Department and put my sister through school. And I didn't even know what I was writing. They asked me a question and I responded. And 10 years later, we were going, or not, maybe 9 or 8 years later, we were going through the books, and I read it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is scary. Like, everything that was on that page I had done, except for my sister. She put herself through school, but I made sure that she got into school and she actually graduated, right? And she's not here though. And it's funny, affirmations and positive thinking and writing down your goals, they have a way of just leaving a picture in your mind that walks with you on every different aspect of your life, and without you even knowing it. And that's when I realized how important affirmations were and how important proper planning was for your life. Now, almost 20 years later, I purposely plan everything. And that's how the planners came into my life, and that's how the blog came into my life. The blog came because after having my last child, I was home on maternity leave, and by the time I had her, my friends, my peers were all having their first, because I started out very young. So I kept getting questions, how do you, what does it mean? Like, how do I balance life? How can I still, be a good mother when I actually want to go back to work? Or how can I be a wife and a good mother? And how can I still have time for my friends? How can I, have time to actually work out in the mornings or in the evenings? Or, how do I still keep me alive, even though I'm now all these other roles? And so I wanted a platform for women where they can feel comfortable and where they can learn from my journey, because I had made so many mistakes through my life, and I wanted to save them from making those mistakes as well. And the platform, I did not know it was going to be what it is today. I was just trying to, if I could help one woman, then my job was done, right? To me, I was convinced this is what I wanted to do. It was harder to convince my husband, who is not only my sounding board, but my everything. And I was about to share our stories with the world, and I wanted to make sure he was okay with it. And for those of you that don't know our culture, it is kind of off the radar. We don't typically, we're not open books. So it took a while for him to get on board, and once he was, I remember we were at King Bird Restaurant at Watergate Hotel, and we were thinking of names, what to call the blog. What do you call a blog for women about motherhood, where you share stories about motherhood and relationships and healthy living and empowering other women? And I kept doodling different sayings on napkins, and the waitress was getting really upset because I was making a mess of the table. And so I'm like writing, and he's not agreeing with anything I have to say, and I'm getting frustrated with him. And then he goes, Luwamé. And I said, yeah, what? And because that's what he calls me. My name is actually Luwam, but he calls me Luwamé. And so I said, yeah, what? He said, no. Name your blog Luwamé. And I was like, oh, that's actually a good idea. And that's how Luwamé came. That's how we came up with that name.